He expects negotiations to take a couple of days and urged negotiators to, quote, move fast. He also threatened to literally eliminate Hamas if it refuses to succeed power in Gaza. Joining us now to discuss this and so much more is Mr. Harley Lippman, foreign policy expert, back here on the Fox 5 Live Zone. Happy Monday to you, Harley. Always good to see you, sir.
Great to see you as well. Happy Monday.
All right, so can it be, could it be, has it finally happened? Are we going to see peace within that region of the world now?
Well, this is what's on everybody's mind now, isn't it? Are we finally there? Yeah, I think so. We're the closest we've ever been. It really depends on Hamas. This is what it comes down to. If they release all the hostages at once, as President Trump has outlined, I think you're going to have lasting peace. Because one, it takes away the reason for Israel to fight in Gaza more. This has been the main reason. The secondary reason is to destroy Hamas, but according to this plan, there's an element in it that addresses that. But really, the main reason is the hostages. And it's actually a smart decision for Hamas and good for everybody. It's barbaric to hold these people in tunnels as they've done for the last 2 years.
Harley, I'm thinking about the president's 20-point peace proposal, and I'm curious, anything in particular that you're not truly fond of with regard to what he is proposing?
I actually think it's an excellent, well thought out plan. And a lot of people in the media focus on Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff as being behind it. I want to add another name, which is Tony Blair, who played a critical role in crafting this, who's been very involved in the Middle East for the last 20 years and has deep relationships in the Arab world and in Israel. He really flies under the radar screen, but is very influential and very well respected. Now, to your question about any part that I'm uncomfortable about, I think it's a win-win-win-win, meaning every element to it, I think, is somewhat of a compromise, but addresses all the issues. So no, I don't have any particular concern. I just hope that Hamas will not sabotage it. And my only concern is, as I mentioned earlier, is that Hamas says they'll release all the hostages, and we've been there before. They manipulate Israeli public opinion with this, but I'm feeling very good about it.
Yeah, yet again, it's going to be really interesting to see how all of this unfolds. We also know that President Trump called on Israel to stop bombing on Friday. However, since that time, more than 100 people have since been killed. Do you think that could possibly disrupt negotiations?
No, because I think this is Trump's show. He's in charge. This is his plan, and that's what makes this different from every other peace initiative. If it was Bibi Netanyahu's plan, because everybody criticized him for not having a day after program, and the problem is if he did, it would be dead on arrival, because it's Bibi's plan. This is Trump's plan with the backing of the Arab world. And Trump has deep relationships with Arab leaders. There's great mutual respect of each other. He is determined to implement this and is not going to let Bibi Netanyahu or anyone else get in the way of implementing his plan. And I think Bibi needs Trump, needs American support, has to go along with it 100%, despite opposition from the right wing in Israel. And again, I think it strikes the right balance all the way around.
Harley, we know that the president has stated that Hamas members can be granted amnesty. However, we also know that Hamas has stated that they don't necessarily want to go. And so yet again, it appears both sides are bumping heads and we have to find a middle ground at some point.
Well, no pun intended, but this speaks to the art of the deal, meaning that this is all about compromise. Yes, Hamas doesn't want to leave Gaza and doesn't want to disarm their leaders. But you have to go to what's the alternative? The alternative is that Bibi Netanyahu is committed to destroying Hamas. And President Trump has said if Hamas does not go along with this deal, he will back Israel in its goals 100%. So basically, Hamas has a choice of going down and dying as martyrs or living for another day. That's what it comes down to, because they're offered amnesty that was never given before.
Yeah. Well, yet again, we are going to pay very close attention to this. We are all keeping our fingers crossed that peace will finally be reached in that region of the world. Mr. Harley Lippman, foreign policy expert, joining us right here on the Fox 5 Live Zone. Truly appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me.
All right, back here in the States, it's one of the big stories. Sean Diddy Combs sentenced to 50 months behind bars by a federal judge and fined some $500,000 after being convicted of transporting people across state lines for sex. Combs' lawyers now speaking up in a major way, saying their client received a sentence 4 times as long as they requested, and that the judge acted as the 13th juror. Joining us now to discuss this and so much more is Marlo Greer, trial attorney, back here on the Live Zone. Good to see you, my friend, and welcome back to the show.
Good to see you, Guy. Hey, 4 times what they asked for. I mean, if a defense attorney would rest on that particular laurel, I mean, what we always ask for, not